Welcome back, everybody, on this rainy day in the Minecraft world to Fusion's Ramblings. Today's topic is all about Flash Gordon. You probably have no idea who that is. So in this series, we talk about just random things, and so for the next 15 minutes, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be rambling on about a certain topic, and that topic is Flash Gordon. So who, what, where is Flash Gordon? Well, Flash Gordon is a 1980 movie. But even before that, Flash Gordon is a comic book that was out in the 70s, maybe even the 60s, I'm not sure. And he was one of my favorite childhood heroes, I guess you can call it. Today everybody's, excited about like DC Comics and Superman, Flash. And this is different. It is not Flash. This is Flash Gordon. Um, and in 1980, a movie came out, and there's a lot of good actors in it. Trying to remember all their names. Sam Jones. He's a football player. I don't know what team. I'm not a follower, and that's not why I liked him. Um, but he was in the movie as the star, and then Mark Van Brom Van. I'm terrible with names. He's the villain, um, and he's the same guy that played in Edward Scissorhands as the creator of Edward Scissorhands. So that guy, you know. Um, Anyways, he plays the villain. So why is it my favorite, and what is it about? Well, it's said that Sam Jones or Flash Gordon is his football name at the time in the movie. He was on his way back from a vacation at some place, I guess in New Hampshire or Vermont or something like that, and gets on a plane, meets another of the primary character. I forget her name, but during the flight, Earth is attacked. Yes, the typical Earth is attacked story, and it's attacked by a alien force. Um, and not like an army or anything like that. It's just that this Emperor Ming, is looking for playthings, entertainment, and he decides that Earth is an entertaining sphere where he can cause earthquakes and volcanoes and all kinds of stuff with his power. And in the whole process, they crash their airplane and they end up at this lab of this crazy doctor who thinks that the Earth is being attacked and it's coming from space and no one believes him and all of that. And he has this rocket to go counterattack, and he needs help to launch. And so he tricks, Flash and the gal to get into the rocket because they think there's a phone in there. That's just weird. Um, and they take off. And they end up in this other world, this other dimension. And I don't know if it's a dimension or what, but they travel up into space, and then they go a little ways, and there's like this vortex black hole thing, and they're able to, get in that and go through it, and it takes them to uh, the kingdom of Ming, where they say Mongols or but it's not related to Genghis Khan or anything like that. It's just that's where they're at. And it has floating cities and floating worlds and weird places and all kinds of stuff. It's actually pretty cool. And anyways, um, they end up, first trying to figure out what's going on, and getting captured, and then they end up fighting in a revolution to free the Earth and make sure the Earth is not destroyed and all that good stuff. And it's a great movie. Visually, sci-fi effects from the 80s is extremely well done. Of course, course, most people today, if they saw that, would go, wow, this is cheesy, and all that. But for what they did at the time, 1980s was the time that Star Wars was the big thing, so use of models and all of that was the big thing for your graphics and your sci-fi effects and all of that. But really well put together. Great story. If they were ever to redo it today, it would be an excellent story as well, with what they can do today with computer graphics and CGI and all of that. But that was my favorite, I guess, hero, I guess, when I was a kid. And I really enjoyed that movie, and I still enjoy it today. If I get to sit down and just watch it, it's very enjoyable. Good storyline. There's a little, there's some corny stuff just because of the way it was made and everything. That you go, okay, that's kind of like weird, and all of that. But overall, a great show to watch. A great flick. If you just want a old sci-fi flick to sit down, enjoy, and have fun, then definitely that is one to go watch. There's a lot of movies out there that are older like that, and they're all really good. And you just have to find those treasures. Of course, I had the experience of watching it when I was a kid. And experiencing it from there, and that definitely set my imagination going from a wild experience. Of course, I saw Star Wars when I was fairly young as well, and so same thing between Star Wars and Flash Gordon and some other movies, even the Star Trek, the original Star Trek genre. That those are the things that caught my attention at a young age, and let the imagination run wild, and want to be involved in sci-fi and science and fantasy and all of that. In Flash Gordon, a couple unique things about it is it's not that he had superpowers. He was a regular human, and just trying to figure out how to save Earth, right? Whereas the Emperor Ming, he kind of had some magical powers, I guess you could say. And they left the movie hanging as if he could come back, because in the comics he does. He comes back, and there's a number of trips actually that Flash Gordon and the heroes, Dr. Zarkov and I can't remember the woman's name for some reason. It escapes me. It's not Elaine or Lois or anything. That's a Superman thing. Yeah, I can't remember. But anyways, in the comic books or magazine, if you want to call it, I guess, there's multiple worlds. There's a reoccurrence of Emperor Ming where he comes back, even though everybody thinks he's dead, just because his power or essence comes back, and several battles for the Earth and things like that. And nothing ever really happens on Earth. It's always in the kingdom of Mongol, and in that universe with its little mini worlds and things like that. Some of the cool things is like there were these floating cities, like the Hawkmen had this floating city, and Hawkmen were just like they sound, men that have wings, and they were called Hawkmen. There were women too. Anyways, what was I saying? So it was like this floating silver palace city in the sky, and the sky, you never knew if they were really on a planet, like maybe a gas giant or something, because there was always swirling, boiling clouds of all kinds of colors around you. There was no blue skies or anything like that. Everything was greens and purples and reds and oranges and you name it. And then these cities that just floated, on engines holding them up. in the atmosphere. But then there were islands too, you know, where you had Arborea, which was like this. It looked like a geode that had been cracked open, but instead of crystals, it was a forest in it, and you know, giant trees that are bigger than anything that exists on Earth, with swamps below and creepy monsters. And you know, the Arboreans lived in the trees. Or Phrygia, which was ice planet, or ice kingdom, you know, where it's like these floating ice crystals that are just floating in the sky, you know, in the atmosphere. And then, of course, there was the main kingdom, the kingdom of Ming, or Mongol, with Ming City. You know, same thing. It was like it was on this desolate asteroid thing, just floating in the atmosphere of this gas giant or something like that. But, you know, the atmosphere was breathable. It was oxygen and everything. So I don't know. But that whole atmosphere and environment was really cool. And then, of course, you know, flying around in the airships they had and everything else, and laser weapons. You know, you got to have the laser weapons, right? All that kind of stuff just made the whole experience, the show, exciting and fun. And of course, they save Earth, obviously. You know. So, anyways, that is Flash Gordon, and I highly suggest that you look it up and you find it and you watch it. It is available online in different locations. You can, of course, watch snippets on YouTube and then find it in other places to watch, but it's worth it. You know, a good popcorn flick to sit down and have a funny laugh about, you know, the silliness of it, but then also, you know, let your imagination go wild and enjoy. And that is today's rambling topic with Fusion's Ramblings. I should put some like fancy logo that goes across the screen and it shakes and rambles and stuff like that, but that's a lot of effort. And right now I'm not doing tons of editing on these videos. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the topic today. Who knows what the next topic is going to be, so come back and find out, and we shall see you later.